Hello guys, and welcome to another edition of GSheets with DLG. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to modify columns and rows. Remember that columns are the vertical columns labeled with letters along the top, and rows are the numbered rows, horizontal sections that move along the left-hand side. First thing we're going to do is insert a row. As you can tell, I've got some information on the months of the year and the number of days there are in each month. But it's always important that when we have a chart, we want some labels. So I'm going to show you two ways to insert a row. For me, I like to go and use the right click and then insert one above. And that'll insert a row all the way across my Google Sheets. I can also, if I needed to, if you would like, you can also go up to the top and insert a row above. And that will again insert a row all the way across the sheet. We always need to have things labeled, so I'm going to label this as the month. And this is the number of days, each of those months. And again, just like in Google Docs, we can make things bold, we can make things italics, we can, even if we want, put a border around those cells and give them a slightly different look. You'll notice for these two columns that the spacing is off. So if I want, I can also center this and change my alignment. But I don't really like how cramped these letters are. So I can double click on the divide where the arrow is horizontal, and it will adjust the size of the column. So here I can click and I can just drag to make that column smaller. Well, in case people don't know, I want them to know what month January is and that March is the third month. So again, I can right click on the column and I'm going to insert one to the left. And then I can fill this in. January is the first month, February is the second, March is the third. I could keep going on, but Google Sheets is pretty smart. So if it recognizes the pattern, for example, in this case, it's going up by one each and every time, I can actually get this black plus sign and I can drag it down and it will actually fill in the rest of the column for me. And it'll keep following the same pattern that I had before. Again, I don't like the width of this column, so I go up to the divide and I can either manually adjust it or I can double click and it'll adjust it for me. The last thing I'd like to show you is down here at the bottom. I wasn't able to show it in the last video, but this tells me what sheet I'm on. And so the nice thing about this, if I want to be organized, I can rename the sheet, I can duplicate the sheet, and so now I have two copies of the same exact thing. This might be really convenient if I want to modify a set of numbers, but I want to keep the original data clean and untouched. Or maybe I just want to make a slight change. For example, I can pull this down and rename this sheet, and we'll call it leap year. So now it's got a new name, and I should make the correct change so that it's leap year. And then, of course, I should always also rename this one. I can rename to non-leap year. Also, maybe you want to change the color of the tab. You can also do that as well. And maybe that color coordination kind of helps remind and separate some of your data out. Hope that helps.